So we are into the percentage method, and we have already seen like what is the percentage method all about. The price elasticity of demand is nothing but how your demand changes with respect to changes in price. So percentage change in demand by percentage change in price. Okay. So percentage change in quantity demand divided by percentage change in price. And percentage change in demand is nothing but, suppose there are you have a demand. So here there is a question, we will see how it goes. So quantity demand, there are two quantity demands. I'll put it as q1 and q2. So q2 minus q1 by q1 whole divided by p2 minus p1 by p1 into 100. This will give you the price elastic this will give you the price elasticity demand with respect to percentage method. Okay, now let's see the question. So the following example illustrates the different price elasticity coefficients that result from using the percentage method when the price change is an increase and when the price change is decrease. So there is the price given here, price $4 and $5, quantity demand 120 and 80. When the price change is from $4 to $5, that means there is an increase in the price. How will you know that there is an increase in the price? So you can see 5 minus 4 by 5. I'll write it here. 5 minus 4 by 5. That is in the denominator. And 120 minus 80 by 80. So the quantity, see, just a second. When the price increases, the demand decreases. Sorry. So we have to take by 120. Okay. So when the price increases, the demand decreases. That means when there is an increase in price, that means from 4 to 5, the demand is decreasing from 120 to 80. Okay. So here it is 1 by 3. 40 by 120 is 1 by 3 divided by 1 by 5. So it is 0.33 divided by 0.25. So that means if there is a 25% increase in the price, if there is a 25% increase in the price, the quantity demand is decreasing by 33%. That is what we can interpret. So that's what they are shown. Percentage change in price 25% and percentage change in demand 0.33. So it is like 1.32. Okay. So now what does it show? That when the price changes from, so what does it show? It shows the price elasticity of demand, how your demand responds to changes in price. When there is a 25% increase in the price, the demand is changing by 33%. Okay. And it is like your quantity demand is like 1.32 times of your price change. That is what we are seeing here. So like when the price is decreasing from 5 to 4, your quantity demand is increasing from 80 to 120. So in this case, so we'll just write it here. When price is decreasing, demand will increase. So when price is decreasing from 5 to 4, demand is increasing from 80 to 120. Okay. So now we can say the percentage change in demand 120 minus 80 by 80 whole divided by 5 minus 4 by 5. So it's a 0.50 by 0.20. So that is 2.5. Okay. So elasticity of demand is 2.5. That means when there is a 50%, 20% change in price, the demand is changing by 50%. That means when price is increasing by 50%, the demand is decreasing by price is increasing by price is decreasing by 20%, demand is increasing by 50%. 2.5 times. Now, midpoint or arc method, this also shows you the elasticity of demand. So let's see the midpoint or arc method, how it goes. So midpoint method eliminates the problem that the percentage method has of resulting in different elasticities depending upon whether the price change is an increase or decrease. Midpoint method is less accurate than percentage method. So here there is no percentage kind of concept, like how it is when price is increasing or decreasing, how demand is behaving, not like that. So midpoint method eliminates the problem that the percentage method has of resulting in different elasticities depending upon whether the price change is an increase or decrease. They're not seeing all this. So midpoint method is less accurate than the percentage method because percentages of change used for the price and quantity are based on the averages of the beginning and ending amounts instead of on the beginning amounts as in the percentage method. Okay, so midpoint method is less accurate than the percentage method because percentages of change used for price and quantity in midpoint method are based on averages of beginning and ending amounts instead of on the beginning amounts as in the percentage method. So in percentage method, what we used to do, we just used to take the percentage change. Here we have to take the averages. So however, the price elasticity coefficient that results will be the same whether the price changes, whether the price change represents a price increase or price decrease. So furthermore, the interpretation of result relatively elastic or relatively inelastic will be correct. So now let's see how this goes. See, what have you seen in the percentage method? You have just taken the two figures given to you, okay, and just you have seen the change divided by the change in price. Here you are finding out the average. And how are you finding out the average? You are taking the beginning figure and ending figure. So Q1 and 2, first and second quantity points. That means beginning and ending. And price also first and second quantity points, beginning and ending. So you are seeing the difference divided by the average. Seeing the difference divided by the average. Okay, you are seeing how they are differing based on the average. Then you are finding out the elasticity. Okay, so here we go. So let us see the midpoint arc method. We'll show with the help of diagram. This is the arc elasticity is the elasticity of one variable with respect to another between two given points. Okay, this is just saying the point to point. If I write like, if I see the diagram, I'll show you the diagram of arc elasticity. So here this is a point A, this is the point B. So point to point it is taking. Okay, we can draw an arc also in this way, like this. There are 2 points A and B, and we can draw an arc also like this, which is just touching and going this. Okay, so there, this is what, and this is what is the point, arc elasticity of demand. I'll just show. Yeah, here it is. Okay, so point 1, point 2, you are seeing the changes between these 2 points. So here we have gives elasticity using the midpoint between 2 points, gives same elasticity whether price rises or falls, more useful for large changes. So what is this arc elasticity, which tells you arc elasticity gives you the elasticity using the midpoint between 2 points. So here you can see there are 2 points and it is taking the midpoint between these 2 points. Midpoint is nothing but average. Q1 plus Q2 by 2 is the midpoint. What do you mean by midpoint? Midpoint is nothing but median or mean. See, this is the midpoint of these 2 points. This is the point 1, this is the point 2, this is the midpoint. So how will you get this? Suppose this is 10, this is 20. Okay, so 10 plus 20 is 30. So for 30, exactly the midpoint will be 15. Am I right? How will you get that? 10 plus 20 by 2. So midpoint is nothing but the exact mean, the average. Okay, so you are seeing the changes with respect to the average of the particular demand or price. Okay, so gives elasticity using midpoint between 2 points, gives same elasticity whether price rises or falls, because average is what you are seeing and more useful for larger changes. That means you are seeing based upon the average. So increase or decrease, average will be the midpoint only always. So let's move forward now. This is the arc elasticity of demand. Arc elasticity is to measure, uh, arc elasticity is a measure of the average responsiveness to price change. That means measure of average responsiveness, nothing but the price will be changing, the demand will also be changing, but you are seeing how the price is changing based upon the average of that price, and you are seeing how the demand is changing based upon the average of that demand. See, your demand will be having some average. When you are seeing the proportion of your change in demand to the average, for example, if I say the change is 1 and the average is like 2, so what is the proportion? 1 out of 2. Your change is half of your average of the price. Okay, and here if I say 3 by 4, your change in quantity demand is 3 out of 4 in the average. That means it is like 50%, it is 75%, like that. Okay, so change is how much in average you are seeing, and then you are finding out the elasticity. So change in demand by the total, that is the average, change by the average. Okay, so this P1 plus P2 by 2 and Q1 plus Q2 by 2. That's what. Now let's do a question. See, price is given, quantity is given, you have to just put in the formula, and you have to see it is 1.80. Okay, when the price is increasing, the quantity demand is decreasing, and you can see the elasticity of demand based upon the arc method. And here also, when price is decreasing and demand is like increasing. Okay, price, if it goes from 5 to 4, the demand will be from 80 to 120. Then what is the what we say, this one, elasticity. And in both the cases, the elasticity happens to be the same. Why? Because here also the average is same, 80 plus 120 by 2 and 5 plus 4 by 2. Okay, here also 120 plus 80 by 2 or 4 plus 5 by 2, the average is same, so the elasticities are same. That's the reason why people don't prefer arc method, because whatever it is, the elasticities will be same. We have already done the price elasticity of demands. That means like types of price elasticity of demands. So what is the formula for total revenue? Price into quantity is revenue, everyone knows. So effect of price elasticity of demand on total revenue when price changes is as follows. When the demand is price elastic. What do you mean by elastic? Small change in price leads to infinite change in demand, a big change in demand. So what will happen when there's a lot of demand? People will be coming and purchasing more. So total revenue rises when price falls. When there is a small, because like your demand and price are having a negative relationship. When the price decreases, the demand increases, and demand increases, revenue will be high. Why? Because you'll be selling more. Okay, and like when the price when the price falls, small change in price leads to a very big change in demand or infinite change in demand. So small change in price, suppose you take fall in price, suppose you take from 5 to 4, and demand is, suppose the demand increases from 80 to very big extent, okay. But if there is an increase in price from 4 to 5, the demand will decrease. That means from suppose like something around 200 to, we don't know, to it can be 0 also. So when demand increases, the revenue increases. When the demand decreases, the revenue decreases. That's what they're showing the changes. Inelastic means there's no change in demand. Whatever the change in price it may be, the demand is not changing. It is same. So when demand is same, the revenue falls. Okay. When price falls, that means when price is decreasing, the demand should increase. But here there is no change. So revenue is not high. And like when the price increases, the demand decreases. Okay. So like, but here there is no change. So the revenue will be high. Okay. No change in the sense demand should decrease, but it is not decreasing. So we'll be getting a higher revenue only. Unitary elastic, with a change in price, the quantity demand changes. Okay, but not high, not low, it in between. Okay, so it will not be having that much of effect on the revenue, because when demand or good or service has unitary elasticity, total revenue is unchanged when the price falls or like price rises, because it will be in between. Okay, so based upon those concepts, please try these questions. This is what I'm giving a homework. Now let's go for supply. Law of supply. So what is mean by supply? Whatever is ready and available and which can be sent to the market is called supply. Whatever is ready with you and available with you, and that can be sent to the market with a change in with exchange to some money. Okay, with respect to exchange to some money is called supply. That means I have some 100 boxes available with me, ready with me, and I can send to the market. Okay, or send to some of the shops in the market who are ready to purchase, and in exchange they'll be paying me money for this. That is called supply. Okay, so demand and supply are somewhat different. When price increases, demand decreases. But in supply, when price increases, you will try to supply more, supply increases. Okay, so demand curve is left to right downward sloping, price and demand, quantity demand. But supply curve is opposite to this, it will be upward sloping. Why? Because when price increases, the supply increases. Okay, but here when the price increases, the demand decreases. When the price decreases, the demand increases. You can see here, when the price was $2, the supply was this much. We wanted to supply less. When the price is $4, supply increased 6, even more increased. Okay, so left to right upward sloping. Let's see market equilibrium. When demand is equal to supply, we say it is in equilibrium. When whatever demand, suppose demand is for 100 boxes and we are supplying 100 boxes, it is equilibrium. Okay, so excess demand is nothing but when demand is more than supply. Excess supply when supply is more than demand. Equilibrium when demand and supply are same. So here it is, like when $2 we supply less, when $4 we supply more, we supply 400 boxes. $6 even more, $8, the highest price, the highest supply. Demand, when price is decreasing, the demand is decreasing. When price is when price is decreasing, the demand increases. How? Suppose it is $8, so the demand will be what for $8? When the price increases, the demand decreases. Okay, so for 8, if I see about the demand curve, like in this case, when the price is $2, the demand is $600. Okay, when the price is $4, that means the price is increasing. When the price was less, the demand was the highest. For $2, the demand is highest, 600. When it is like $4, the demand is 400. That means the demand is decreasing. $6, even less. $8, even less, 200. So when the price is going on increasing, the demand is decreasing. When the price is decreasing, the demand is increasing. For $8, it is somewhere around 200. For $6, 300. For $4, 400. For $2, 800. And when these demand curve and supply curve meet, that point is equilibrium point. That means at 400, at a price of 4 rupees or $4, the demand is 400. Okay, that means it is equilibrium. No, that is price and demand, supply and demand are equal for that. At that price, the supply and demand are equal. Okay. Just a second. Now, impact of market structure on pricing. So we know there are 4 types of market structures: like perfect competition, monopoly, monopolistic competition, oligopoly. And we have already discussed about these 4 types of market structures. Perfect competition is nothing but large number of buyers and large number of sellers will be seen in the market. Okay, and all like firm is a price taker and sells at market price. Those all will be selling same kind of products in that market. Okay, and monopoly is nothing but single seller. He's a price maker, others are price takers, and he wants to take advantage of his position in the market being a monopolist, because he has the control over the prices. Okay, we'll see about this monopolistic, how he makes his surplus, etc., from the graph given in the next page. So the monopolist faces a downward sloping curve when it increases its prices. It sells fewer units. That means when they increase their price, the demand will decrease. Okay, and less sales will be there. So when it decreases its prices, it will sell more. Okay, so that is what is the property given. Monopolistic competition is not a price competition. It is a competition different from price. It is like a non-price competition, we say. Here the product differentiation matters rather than the price. Okay, and oligopoly, already we have discussed regarding oligopoly, and we have given the example of a town whereby there are 5 firms, and one is the oldest one and others are following that firm, and they closely monitor and closely follow that firm, and whatever that firm does, they follow and they do it, and try to match with what they are doing, and take their decisions based upon the bigger firm in that town. Okay, so now let's move forward. Short run equilibrium pricing. So in short run, how will you, like, you'll see the equilibrium price. Equilibrium price is nothing but the price at which your demand and supply are same. Okay, that is here what we have seen, the equilibrium price. $4 is the price at which your quantity demanded, that is this one, and your quantity supplied are the same. So let's see the short run, the equilibrium pricing in the short run. Okay, now let's see the curve in the perfect competition. A perfectly competitive market will exist if the following assumptions are true. Many independent buyers and sellers, customers are indifferent. That means whatever the price to which supplier they buy from, because everyone is selling at the same price. Every one of them are selling at the same price. You go to any market, you go to a vegetable market, you ask 10 of the sellers, everyone will be selling the tomato at one price only. It's not like they'll be reducing even a single penny. It's useless to go and ask others. Why? Because it is a perfect market. Example of perfect market. And when we really go and do this bargaining kind of thing, it is, you will be experiencing that they are not reducing the price and all are selling at one price, because they agree like that and they do it. There are no barriers restricting firms from entering or exiting the market. Anyone can enter, anyone can go. Okay, and the market is for standardized product or products. That means that market is only for that kind of product. Like vegetable market is only for vegetable. You won't get any other things there. Perfect information exists in the market. There is no non-price competition. It's a purely price competition. And here you can see the demand curve is nothing but equal to the average revenue. That means average revenue is nothing but the revenue on an average, and that is and the marginal revenue is also equal, and that is equal to the price. That means, what do you mean by average revenue and marginal revenue? Average revenue is nothing but, suppose you have revenues like this: 10 rupees, 20 rupees, 30 rupees, 40 rupees, 50 rupees. What is the average revenue? 10 rupees, 20 rupees, 30 rupees, 40 rupees, 50 rupees. So 10 plus 20 is 30, 30 plus 30 is 60, 60 plus 40 is 100, 100 plus 50 is 150, 150 by 5, 30 is your average revenue. Average revenue is equal to marginal revenue is equal to price. So average revenue is equal to marginal revenue. So marginal revenue is nothing but, with one, these are the given things. Now you are increasing your products. With one additional unit of product, the revenue you earn is called your marginal revenue. Okay, excuse me. Okay, so average revenue is equal to marginal revenue. So average is nothing but, I'll tell you the average. I'll just write it here, just a second. So suppose there are quantities 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 quantities here. Okay, and the price for the quantity 1 is 10 rupees, quantity 2 is 20 rupees, quantity 3 is 30 rupees, quantity 4 is 40 rupees, quantity 5 is 50 rupees. Okay, so per item the price is 10 rupees, understood fact. So what is the average revenue of this? Average revenue is nothing but, what is the formula for average? Sum of the observations divided by total number of observations. Okay, so 5 plus 4 is 9, 9 plus 3 is 12, 12 plus 2 is 14, 14 plus 1 is 15. So 150, 15. So 150 by 15 is 10. This is the average revenue. Just forget about this example. I cannot give the example in this perspective. So this was not the example for average revenue. Just leave it. So I'm giving you the example for average revenue in this case. Okay. So or else if you want to find out the average, you can find out in this way also. 10 by 1, 20 by 2, 30 by 3, 40 by 4. That is the cost divided by number of items. 50 by 5. Every time you will be getting 10. So can I say average revenue is 10? And let's see the marginal revenue. Marginal revenue is nothing but, you had one unit. So you increased your unit from 1 to 2. Additional unit. You added one additional unit. With one additional unit you have added, the price has increased from 10 to 20. And what's the difference? 10. Now from 2 to 3 I have added one more unit. What's the difference in the price? 10. Again 3 to 4 you have added one unit extra. What's the difference? 10. So with one additional unit if you are adding, to the given number of units, your price changes by 10 rupees. So this is what your marginal revenue. So your average revenue is 10. Marginal revenue is 10. So average revenue is equal to marginal revenue is equal to the demand curve, which is given here. Which is given here. So average revenue is equal to marginal revenue is equal to the price is nothing but this demand curve. Okay, which is horizontal to the demand curve. That means there is no change here. It is a perfectly elastic curve. That means with respect to change in price, okay, there is an infinite change in demand. Okay, so demand curve for a firm in pure competition is perfectly elastic. Let's move forward. So this is like monopoly. In monopoly, this is the demand curve. Your marginal revenue curve lies below the demand curve, always in monopoly. Why? We have already seen the monopoly's boxes backside, if you remember. So if we want to see that, we are seeing like the marginal revenue. Marginal revenue, monopoly. Yeah. So you can see here marginal revenue curve and your demand curve. Demand curve is nothing but when price decreases, the demand, this is like your price, it is like going on decreasing and your demand is increasing. Okay, so the demand curve will be left right downward sloping, and when you see your marginal revenue curve, that marginal revenue curve will be below the demand curve. You can draw and see, I'll show you, just a second. I'm doing this demand curve here. So price is 8, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 20. And your quantity, what you are selling, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So when your price is kind of 8, okay, so when your price is decreasing, your demand is increasing. When the price was 20, the demand was 0. When the price is 16, the demand is 1. 14, 2. 12, 3. 10, 4. 8, 5. Okay, like that. If you draw like this, it's a demand curve. Okay, now marginal revenue curve. So 18. So we can see here 18, 14, 10, 6, 2, minus 2. So 18 will be less than 20. So 18. If you frame like that, for example, if I see for 1 unit of demand, the revenue is 18. For 1 unit of demand, the revenue is, sorry, I'll draw here, like 18 will be here. Okay, for 1. And for 2 it will be 14. For 2 it will be 14. Okay, so it's like going below this or not? Yes. And for 3 it will be 10. For 4 it will be 6. It will be 6. So if you join this again, you see marginal revenue curve. This is marginal revenue curve and this is the demand curve. So always marginal revenue curve is below the demand curve. That you should understand. Marginal revenue is nothing but when you sell one additional unit. When you sell one additional unit of product, you have to see whether what is your revenue. That is your marginal revenue. Okay, for one extra unit of product, what the revenue you are generating is your marginal revenue. So that's what we understood. Now let's go forward. So this is the marginal revenue curve, and this is the demand curve. Marginal revenue curve always is below the demand curve, and this is marginal cost curve. Marginal cost is nothing but with one additional unit of uh, product, whatever you are selling or producing or whatever, when you go on increasing that production or the demand for that, the marginal cost, that means additional cost for buying or producing one additional unit of product, will increase. Okay, so it is going upwards and it is cutting the marginal revenue curve at a point. This point is called equilibrium point, where your marginal revenue, which is your marginal revenue, is this, is equal to your marginal cost. Okay, because marginal revenue is decreasing with additional units and marginal cost is increasing with additional units, and they meet at a point. That point is called equilibrium point. Okay, and this is the average total cost. Average total cost is what you can see in the box. So the total cost of one product is, suppose one unit is, suppose if I have 10 rupees and the number of units is 1, so 10 by 1 is my average cost. If I spend 20 rupees, number of products are 2, like that, so 20 by 2, so that is the average cost, like that. So the average cost is like decreasing and then it's like somewhat increasing. Okay, and yeah, that's what marginal revenue curve is, like below the demand curve, and this is the point. See, this is the point. We can see here this point, long run economic profit at price PM and quantity QN. That means here you have achieved your equilibrium where your cost and your revenue are same. Beyond this point, beyond this, when your cost and revenue are same, is nothing but your break even. When your cost and revenue are same, is your break even. Above the break even point, you'll be earning profits, and this is the point at which the monopolist makes profit. Why he makes profit? Because he has achieved the break even here, and it is now he is going towards the profit zone, and his average total cost is the least at this point. So where the average total cost is the least, above that it is profit. Okay, that is what. And here you can see the revenue curve is touching the demand curve. Okay, the marginal revenue curve is here, so this is the profit zone only, what we are seeing, because the break even has been achieved, the average total cost is the least, and here he will be achieving the profits. Let's move forward. The same point what they are mentioning, I think, monopolistic. Okay, we will do the other topic tomorrow, because 10 minutes I have one more session. So I need to explain the monopolistic competition and oligopoly. Then we have pricing strategy, the next topic starting. Last topic. After this, it is risk management. Just more 2 classes, last and final 2 classes. I'll be finishing this chapter. And risk management, simultaneously, I'll be sending the videos to you. Okay. Done. Almost today I am into this page. We have to go through this page till this is the last page. Just a second. 115, I think. 115 is the last page, and we are into, just a second. Just monopolistic and oligopoly. If I teach tomorrow, it will be done. 20-minute session. Yeah, I am. So here 93 to 115 is just 20 pages. So next session, whatever I'm taking, I'll be finishing max to max 2 classes done. Not more. No more extending this. Okay.